Welcome back to MMA Oddsbreaker. I'm Frank Trigg. Today we're talking to Andrew Sanchez, who's fighting Kevin Casey at RFA 15 here on June 6th in the Veterans Memorial Auditorium, Culver City, California. First title fight at the 185-pound weight class for RFA. You could potentially be the champion come Friday night. You're 5-0, obviously fighting out of St. Louis, Missouri, in Finney's Hit Squad. How is Did they put any extra pressure on you, knowing that this is a title fight? That not yourself, but your team and your coaches?
No, not really. I mean, definitely not on myself. In the past, it would have been, but I tried, not to think about the pressure affects my performance. But my coaches they try and keep me calm. If there is added pressure, they don't show it. I mean, there's definitely excitement from them, but pressure is never a good thing. So if a coach is trying to add pressure on you, and they feel that they feel the pressure, I think they shouldn't be, honestly.
Now, in your
keep me calm.
In your 5 fights, you've only gone to the second round one time, and that was the last time in RFA 13. And that went to the second round.
Hold on. Sure Dog has it wrong. I have a loss on my record.
Oh,
and everyone
okay.
thinks I'm 5-0. 5-1. I did lose early in my career. So I go the distance. I had a split decision loss, and an eye injury is a bad. It was a bad deal. But yeah, I've been the distance before,
Okay.
So that's not an issue.
So, well, I was going to say That was the next question: was how was your shape going to be for this one? But I didn't think you had any problems going deep because you have a. I've seen a couple of your fights, and I knew that when the fights were ending, that you still had plenty left to go. It wasn't like you hit a guy and he fell down and you were exhausted. Yeah. You had a lot left in the tank. Did you change anything up in this training camp with a guy like Kevin Casey? He's a heavy hitter. He's a brawler. Sometimes he's difficult to put away, but he does get knocked out. If he does lose, he's 7-3. When he does lose, it's by KO. It's the only 3 ways he's lost. He's all been by the same way he gets knocked out. Did you change anything in your training camp with that knowledge going in?
I've definitely been focusing on my stand-up a lot, but I've been doing that for the last few fights because that was my weakness. But I think Kevin's vulnerable on the feet, but I haven't changed them too much. You know what I mean? I definitely got with some higher level coaches. When I went to the East Coast and got some elite training out there. But I always train like I'm fighting a 5-round fight. I don't think I can handle more of a load without it being overtrained. So as far as the conditioning and everything, I don't. You're a wrestler. I'm a wrestler. We know how to be in shape. So I haven't changed too much in that aspect.
Well, now that I've retired and I'm 42 and I'm looking back on my career, the one thing that I did notice, and you actually mentioned it, is overtraining, that wrestlers, we tip right on that scale every day. Like we're really on that line of being too far, of going over the top far too much and then not being able to recover for the next couple of days. But it's how we were trained to do when we were younger. We don't know any different. But now it's getting smarter. Do you notice the difference in if you were still wrestling and trying to make the world team and trying to make the Olympic team? Of course, the trials were just last weekend. Do you notice a difference in how you train when you were wrestling versus how you train for MMA as far as the load goes?
Yes, absolutely, man. It's just a mindset of wrestlers, we train, we go live, the day before we wrestle in a meet or a tournament or whatever, you know what I mean? And that was my problem with the fight I lost, man. I overtrained to the maximum, and I overtrained every fight before that. You know what I mean? Like, there is definitely a fine line. You got to peak at the right time, and that has been my biggest problem. And it's just, being around MMA fighters, they have a different mindset. You know what I mean? And I think it's definitely more intelligent, more scientific. So, being in the scene has definitely changed how I train. I take it easy the week of the fight. I used to spar like the Wednesday, if I was fighting on Friday, I'd spar like 2 days before with 5 rounds because it was craziness. So I definitely don't do that anymore, man. And that loss I do have is the best thing that happened to me because it was a hard lesson to learn. But I try not to overtrain anymore. And it's always an issue. It's my instinct to go out and do sprints. Like I want to run hard today. But I'm like, I gotta take it easy. I'm about to cut weight, So
what do you
definitely
think?
Changed my mindset.
What do you think you're gonna surprise Kevin Casey with when you guys battle?
I think I'm gonna surprise this fucker with everything, man. He thinks he's so much better than me on the ground. He thinks I have nothing to offer. But my jiu-jitsu is pretty sick, man. I train with the best guys in the world. So I think I'm going to surprise him on the ground. I think he knows my wrestling's better than his. I think I'm going to surprise him on the feet. So pretty much everywhere, man. I think he's looking past it. He's got kind of a little ego on him. He thinks he's the shit. Thinks he's better than everyone. Thinks he can beat everybody. But he's going to be, once he grabs a hold of me and he feels my strength and he sees what I can do and see, I think he's going to be in for a rude awakening.
Where do you think that Kevin Casey is the most dangerous when he's battling you?
I would normally stay on the ground, but I don't think I'm going to have a problem with him on the ground. That's definitely a strength, there's no doubt. That's a good question. I don't know if his stand-up has come along a long way. Possibly he could be an issue on the feet. But from every fight I've ever seen, the tape doesn't lie. I don't see him being too much of a danger on the feet. On the ground, I can handle myself, so I'm not worried about that.
This is Andrew Sanchez we're talking to. He's getting ready to fight Kevin Casey, come up here on RFA 15 here on June 6th at Veterans Memorial Auditorium in Culver City, California, rather. I spoke with Ed Swords yesterday. I was doing a guest host job on Playboy Radio with Cheris B, and we brought Ed on as one of the guests, and he was talking about how big this is and how much fun he's having being not only being a manager of Anderson Silva, but also being the lead promoter for RFA and getting this thing put together. But he also realizes that every time that he throws a fight, the UFC is paying attention and that they're watching these guys battle. It's the same thing with RFA as it is with Legacy Fighting Championships. It seems to be that that's the feeder league for the UFC right now, the unofficial farm league, if you will, for the UFC. Ed said, we're like college football. RFA is like college football. We have the best guys. We're running for the national title. All of our guys are big battle guys, and then they get picked up by the pros, by the big leagues, the NFL, which is the UFC. I mentioned to him crosstown rivalries, like between MFC or between Legacy Fighting Championships, the other guys that are on Access TV, which is where your fight can be seen on Friday night. When you win that belt on Friday, would you entertain an idea of battling against the other champions, like the champ from 185 over at MFC, the champ over at Legacy at 185?
Yeah, what's that guy's name again? What's his name? The redhead smiling. Alvin,
Sam Alvey.
right?
Yeah.
Sam Alvey.
Yeah.
Man, I'll fight that dude. I'll smash that guy. Absolutely, I would love to take that fight. He's sloppy. I mean, he's got power, but he's sloppy and he's ground garbage. So, yeah, bring it on.
Well, if Access Television can actually put this together with Andrew Simon, the president, can actually make this happen, it could actually be good for you guys to have that inter-cross rivalry, because then when you do get picked up by the UFC, you've already battled the best guys that you could possibly fight in the minor leagues. If you're battling the other champions, there's no question, no doubt about it. I would love to see you fight Sam. I think that'd be a very interesting fight, to say the least, especially on the lead, talking on the lead up to the fight.
Yeah, I'm down, man. I'm down for sure. You count me in.
All right, Andrew. Thanks for coming out here. Appreciate you spending a couple minutes with us here on MMA Oddsbreaker. Good luck on Friday night. We'll talk to you soon.
All right, thanks, sir. Bye.